Good morning. This is Nita and Panda with the Timepiece Garden, and Panda's off doing the panda thing. Yeah, she's checked in with chickens, and she's doing the panda thing. It's the easiest way for me to say that. All right. I know I love Garden 3. I love Garden 2 and Garden 1 too, but I love Garden 3, especially when it's just in full production. All right. I'm still having allergy issues. I sit over a pot of mullein and eucalyptus just so I could breathe this morning. Help clear out my chest because I have to get out here. Um, we're going to have some temperatures up in the hundreds. I mean, it's going to get crazy. For June, normally this is a July, August thing. Having said that, I already know I'm not going to be able to shade the elderberry this year. They're too tall, even for me to build something. I mean, you can tell that one is just feet above even the gazebo. So they're going to have to deal with it on their own. I think because they're 3.5 years old now that they will be just fine. But let's hope I don't lose all my elderberries because I can't shade them this year. There's no way for me to build something, even temporarily. Having said that, all of my peppers, anything that I can shade, I'm going to shade. That's what I actually brought out here with me is some shade stuff. Same stuff I shaded the elderberries with, just like the smaller one that I have on the dragon cucumber. The dragon eggs cucumber, and so far he seems to be doing fine. You can see he's still down there, he's still perky leaves, even has a new piece of fruit. I think the shade has helped. But I'm going to see everybody who I can give a little bit of shade, I'm going to give them a little bit of shade. If I can't give you shade, you're just going to have to figure it out. So that's what we're going to do this morning and harvest. I've got a lot of peppers that are ready, and I'm going to go ahead and harvest them so I don't lose peppers or cucumbers in the heat that's coming. So let me get busy. I don't know if you just saw Panda kind of stroll by. She's doing the patrol. But she and I will talk to you later. Alrighty. So shade covers are on. Harvesting is done for everything that I, can possibly do. Now obviously I didn't get all the peppers because there's no way without messing up the peach tree, and we're not doing that. But there is some shade, so when the sun is at high noon, 1 o'clock, etc., they all get some shade. Now this guy here at the end, there's no way for me to give him shade without blocking the entire aisle, and we're not going to do that. Having said that, peppers like heat. So my thought process is they'll be okay. They'll do better than the tomatoes. You can see where my bar is on the tomatoes, and they're like 2 feet above that. There's just no way for me to shade them. So they gotta do on their own, So the cucumber, you can see where I put some stuff on his teepee, and between the mullein here and the teepee that should shade the cucumber. You can't even see him. He's on the back side of it. You come over this way and you're like, oh yeah, look, cucumber blooms, but that'll give him some shade. For the hottest part of the day, 12 to 3 roughly, he'll be in shade, which is awesome. Because he's got 2 cucumbers down here. There's one. The other's over there on that leaf. Not quite ready to harvest. I did harvest some. We'll show that at the end. I also did pick 2 tomatoes. They need to ripen on the windowsill, but they were ripe enough to go to the windowsill. There's a couple in here. Let me see if I can show you. They're there. There you go, down there. See them? They're not quite ready yet. I don't want to pick them yet. You're picking them too soon. But they get heat stress. A plant will shut off. Just shut it off. It's fruit making. Same thing with this pepper. This side is completely unprotected and will get the full brunt of the sun from that opening. There's just nothing I can do about that. But between him and the shade cloth, does that make sense? The cucumber should still stay in the shade during the hottest part of the day. This is the dragon egg cucumber. Like I said, so far he's doing okay where he's got that extra shade. So, yeah, and then from there, I'm going to go inside the hoop tunnel because my strawberry spinach is still being excellent. Yes, that's all strawberry spinach. So is that. And again, it's called strawberry spinach. It is a sweet spinach but it produces a berry when it bolts that does turn red, and that's why it's called strawberry spinach. I'd like them not to die, you know, and like regular spinaches, it gets too hot, you know, it reacts. So these are the shade cloth strips that I had for the elderberry last year. And I just kind of wove them across, because you can see that's where my sun is. That's where it'll come in and hit, and it'll put all this in shade. You know, now it's dappled, and there'll be some breaks that are about 6 inches wide. So it'll get, you know, sun, and then as the sun moves, it'll go back into shade. This one here did the same thing. I actually took it over to this side, the shade there, and then I let it hang across the door. Again, to shade this corner. Because not all of this is bolted yet. This is still harvestable and very edible, and I'd like to keep it as long as possible. And giving it a little bit of shade, you know, dappled sunlight is a good thing. So, having said that, it's off to the next project. You know, I'm done in the garden. It's starting to get sunny on the upper hill. It's time to go do something else. Say, and the bumblebees, it's crazy. My nicotina's here, they're a good pollinator. But the big fat bumblebees are all in the woolly lambs there. I mean, I can hear them, and they're all in here. You know, they're not touching the marigolds, and they're not touching the nicotinas. They want the woolly lambs there. So, yeah, I think this was a good addition to, you know, keep the pollinators coming. Hey, not the camera. Not the camera. Not the camera. Thank you. All right. Y'all have an awesome day. And I will talk to you later. Just a quick elderberry update. Again, you can see where the berries are still here. You know, and the newest flowers are not being eaten. Like this first round of flowers has been being chomped on, which is good. You know, I'm not going to lose my berry mix, at least not to critters. Neem oil always does well. And then, isn't that a pretty winter squash? There's several of them out here. That one's the biggest one. There's another one. And they're just pretty. There's a baby one. So there's a baby one still attached to his flower. Just awesomeness. I have the squashes. Passion fruit. All the way up the vine. Awesomeness. Watermelon vine just trailing away. Just yumminess. Again, those aren't blossoms. Those are baby elderberries. Not being eaten by bugs. Yay! Alright, got things to do. Talk to you later. Just a quick share of the harvest. These are jalapenos. I keep them separate from my jalapenos. These are a jalapeno flavor but no heat. These are a true jalapeno, lots of heat. And you notice there's a few of these and there's lots of these. I like a blend. I like a little bit of heat. I don't like a lot of heat. So it's easy to dice these up and blend them, you know, with mushrooms and onions and whatever, and then I can take the heat. These are the new ones again that I'm trying. They're a sweeter pepper, which is kind of awesome. Great for stir fries with other vegetables, like with cabbage and stuff. Anaheims, again, my jalapenos, regular cucumber, dragon egg cucumber, and my first 2 tomatoes. Now I'm going to put these on the windowsill and let them finish ripening on the windowsill. I just wanted to make sure that I got them off before we had the heat, because the first thing a plant will do is it'll shut off, you know, ripening food if it gets excessively hot. So, anyway, gotta love a good harvest. And I'll talk to you later.